Good afternoon, friends and traders. I am Dan Hodge, and welcome to the Market Recap. It is Wednesday, February 10th, and man, we saw a little spike in volatility here this morning, if I do say so myself. Lots of processing. That stock market kind of gave us a little bit of a jolt this morning. I'm sure a lot of shorts got eaten up pretty quickly as it recovered fast back towards settlement price and kind of ending unchanged. Crude oil, on the other hand, kind of doing what we've said it's been doing, and just keep buying those dips, and you're going to seem to do okay. But man, stocks is the talk of the town. I'm going to show you a couple things I did today. Two trades over there, one up, one down, and was still able to walk away profitable. So we'll walk through a couple of those things there. Gold this morning opening up high. Looked like we got this break in equities. Does gold want to skyrocket? There was that fast maneuver, but man, gold turned down right towards settlement price. Euro stays inside, and the 10-year note continues to creep higher. I haven't touched the 10-year note since yesterday when we put up a couple levels that we said, hey, here's where we want to watch. So we'll take a look at that here today as well. Excuse me. Let's see. Bitcoin finally gave up a little bit, but we're still up some pretty darn good money in that bad boy here today. Our Airbnb stock's doing well. Tilray seems to be the next Reddit thing. Wall Street Bets, go check it out. They're talking Tilray. Tilray's up quite a bit today. Just to kind of touch on it, I had it pulled up and I lost it. Tilray up 50% today. That is that pharmaceutical company that was pretty heavy in the cannabis world. They were a big shaker and mover about a year ago, maybe a little longer. It was a relatively quiet stock, stayed pretty low looking back at 2018. That thing had a high of $150. It calmed down, got closer to $3. About this time last year, we were trading about anywhere between $3 and $8. And as of January 8th, was only trading $11. Well, right now, that is $64. So that's another stock we want to keep an eye on. What can happen with this one? We'll keep a close eye on that stuff. A couple other headlines or things that we want to touch on. The Fed, Jerome Powell basically saying, he wants to be cautious of everything that's going on. Possibility of $15 minimum wage, the stimulus package that's coming in. They want to keep inflation at 2%, or just above that 2% mark. EIA came out this morning, draw of 6.6 million barrels, and so fundamentals say we're pulling supply out. Price is probably going to keep going. And then I had one other thing. Yeah, I think those are the major headlines we wanted to talk on. Of course, I've got like a million things all over the place. Yep. Yeah, so everything, all the headlines were right now, we want to listen to what Jerome Powell had to say today. So look into that stuff, do a little reading. They want to stay the course. The Fed doesn't want to have to jump in too much, but we have to be cautious of that. Stock market, like I said, volatility opened up and finally calmed back down. So at this time, I want to say hello to everyone, and then we'll go ahead and check out these charts. Felix, good to see you. Glad to see you had some good opportunities. Hopefully we'll take advantage of all that. Mr. Shine's Mystery Channel, The Book of Joe, OTC Madness today. Yep. Steve, good to see you. JD, the Dancing Bear, has entered the room. Magnum, great to see you as well. Bill and Tanya, thanks for joining here today, guys. Like I said, let's go ahead and take a look at these charts and see what we had going on. As always, we're going to start here with our crude oil market. Crude oil, like I said, I really wanted to kind of give a visualization when I say buying these dips is creating opportunities. This market really has teased this high side of the channel. And this is something I do quite regularly when I'm trading. I like to define my extremes where I'm going to start to look for those opportunities. So anytime the market kind of gets to the low side of the extreme, I want to take advantage of that Anytime it gets to the high side of the extreme, I want to take advantage of that. You've heard me talk a lot lately or over the years about how we want to cut down the number of trades we're taking in any given day. And here's just a prime example. When we look at this market here, we can see we got great opportunities. Nice buy, a good buy, another good buy. We can catch these shorts as the market hits the high side. We can catch some shorts. We can even tighten things up as the market tightens up, and we can run different layers of these channels. We can take this, we can tighten this up just a little bit. Obviously, got to do a little adjusting here. Just for perspective, you can kind of tighten things up even more, and I will run 3 or 4 different highs and lows when I'm looking at my charts based off of different time frames to try and give myself some visuals within these markets. And so this is something I can't stress enough. As that market approaches that low side, that's where we want to find those opportunities. We can manage our risk, and then when we get a little bit more finite within and we're looking even a little bit more micro, we're going to be able to find those other trades within this, saying, hey, you know what? I think we're going to find a little bit of support as the market approaches a settlement price, as opposed to waiting for it to get all the way down. I can look for an opportunity here. But we can continuously have different layers for us to look at when we're executing trades. So today, crude oil opened up a little bit higher, dipped, the number came out, and as expected, nice pop, and it's continuing this slow, steady grind to the upside. We're buying these dips. We're catching the run. We buy the dip. We catch the run. We're going to buy another dip here and catch that run. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. Next, let's go ahead and look at the S&P 500. And man, these were the talk of the towns this morning. This market opened up higher. Showed no bad news. Decent CPI. Market wants to keep going, but we started to get a little fear, a little bit of concern. What's going to happen with stimulus? We got Jerome Powell speaking this afternoon. What is he going to say? Well, very fast, very quick, break to the downside. And this market looks like it wants to maybe get a positive day. I'm not 100% sure where we're going to mark that settlement price, but this market just kind of came back to a previous point of consolidation. There's a couple places we can look at. We can start throwing moving averages on here to start trying to figure it out. Truthfully, we saw some stops down at 85. Market kind of broke down to it and rallied back up. And when I say stops, I mean there was big volume and trade down at 85, not actual stops. Big trade, big volume down at 85. This market kind of came down, seeked it out. We have multiple reactions at that price. And this is what I'm really paying attention to right here. That previous gap, yes, it came down and just made sure everything, all business was done here today. All right. Tanya, I see your comment saying you can't see my charts. I don't know if you're messing with me or not, but I think my charts are here. Anyhow, I want to show you guys something here in the S&P 500. I came out this morning. I was looking for this market to kind of continue that grind. I decided to go in and get into this market right around 18. I took a long off the open. We broke down a little bit. I said, here's a chance to take a relatively cheap trade, only risking about 4 points in this trade. And for me, I think that's a relatively reasonable trade. If I can risk 4 points and maybe get this thing to run right up and just check that overnight high, that to me is a good opportunity to look for a trade. And so that's what I did. I was hoping to get maybe 10 points out of this. Got stopped out pretty quick. Obviously, there's no catching that initial move. I sat back, I got patient, and I waited for this market to work its way back towards settlement price. I said, I don't know if this is going to be a total reversal. I'd like to see settlement try and kind of create a little bit of resistance as this market came up. I took my short at yesterday's, just shy of yesterday's point of control, yesterday's settlement price. And again, I wasn't putting a whole lot of risk in it. I got in at 04. My stop was up at 06 or 07. And I wasn't looking for anything huge. I was looking for maybe anywhere from 8 to 10 point. I was able to walk away profitable on 2 trades here today. 1 winner, 1 loser. And those are the types of things that we want to be doing when we're looking at these markets. We want to keep it to a point where I can be wrong once, right once, and still make some money. If I can have 50-50, win rate, I'm going to be pretty content with that over time because it's all about covering the downside when we take those losses instead of getting caught in it. Too often I could have sat there and said, well, I want to stay long. Maybe settlement price will catch me. Maybe something else will catch me. And that's not always going to be the case. Now, let's go over here to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ, just like S&P 500, broke down pretty fast. Hard and fast. We came and checked the prior swing low. Nothing really to bat my eyes at there, honestly. I was kind of more interested in the prior swing low, where this market opened up to start the week. It's kind of what I was catching my eye on down here, right at 13,600. And this market did what markets love to do, go and seek out that settlement price. Gotta love how we can always find opportunity to and from settlement price. So, next, let's look at gold. Like I said, right when we began, gold was starting to show a little bit of life, kind of continuing this trend to the upside, and so it seemed. But we've really fallen into a channel here, a little bit of a range. So here's what we're seeing in this market right about now, and this is going to be something that I believe, I want to be paying attention to this channel right in here. And that's what this market's been doing for the last 2 days, give or take. We could not accept outside of it. Market returned right back down to the low side. And really, it works out nicely with today's value area high, value area low. But we caught a nice run right down to settlement price and a really nice bounce off of settlement price right to yesterday's value area high. So there was some good opportunity there. Next, let's go ahead and look at the euro, which, like I said, relatively quiet day. We kind of continuing to creep higher. Just like crude, we want to just buy some of these dips, make money on the run, buy the dips and make money on the run. This market really struggled to get anywhere above or even near the overnight high. But like we said, we like to pay attention to overnight highs, overnight lows, good areas to look for some opportunity. We never really got back to the lows, but we did work our way right down towards settlement price here, looking like we're going to end the day right near settlement from yesterday. And lastly, let's go ahead and look at the 10-year note, which I think gave some good opportunity here for us. Like we said yesterday, so we were sitting here yesterday, and we said we want to keep an eye all the way up here at 136.27, 136.28. We want to keep an eye on that as a nice opportunity to look for a trade to or away from. Well, this market opened up this morning on the lows and rallied right into our channel, right into that value area that we had been watching. And it skyrocketed, took off to that 138 mark, and really continued to move through. We're almost into a new handle. We're about a half a tick away from a brand new handle. So really, some of the nice opportunities here. And this is something I can't stress enough when you look at treasuries. Like I've said to you guys in the past, these are the markets I love the most, are treasury markets. And really define the areas you want to execute at. Define the areas you want to look for those opportunities, because you have to be a sniper when it comes to trading treasuries. You're not getting these huge moves where you can get 3 or 4 chances in a day to make $5, $6, $1,000 per tick, or per contract. So that's something I can't stress enough when it comes to looking at treasuries. Be specific in that location. Take your profits very quickly. Don't feel like you have to sit in it all day long, or if it goes in your favor, it comes back and it starts not looking like it wants to go. Don't be afraid to shut that one off if things have changed, because these markets, if they aren't willing to go, they're not, and you want to look for some good opportunities. So those are our markets here today. Everybody, as always, thanks for tuning in with me. Got a couple things to run through. Tanya, glad you can see my charts now. Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to say we'll put this one on. I'll take the blame that you couldn't get it, so don't worry about it. Tesla, finally, a little bit of a quiet day over there, down almost 7% at $804. Airbnb, guys, we're making some good money on Airbnb. As we recall, we bought Airbnb for $148.30, trading $211.66. Now, if I'm your financial advisor, I'm sitting here saying phenomenal profits, huge returns. Let's take some off the table, reinvest. But that's not what we're here to do. We're going to hold this one until the end of the year and see what happens. But right now, I think we made a great purchase as it applies to Airbnb. VIX, like I said, we had a 5-day high here today. The VIX did spike up to almost 24, just shy. We got up to 23.8. GameStop actually had a little life today, a little bit higher. We're trading 51.20. Yesterday's close was 50.35. And then lastly, Bitcoin. Like we said, Bitcoin is down just slightly here today. When I say just slightly, we're looking at like $3,000. That's why this isn't a tradable futures product just yet. This thing moves $3,000 in a given day. Just not quite there for what you want to be trading in a risk management safe way. If we had massive positions and we were using this as a sort of hedge, maybe there's something there. But not quite yet. Maybe if we continue to get some volume, we can slow the volatility down on this. It might make it tradable. I know a lot of people ask. I just don't think it's totally there just yet. So we are trading right now 44,870. A nice profit so far for that one as well for us. Other than that, guys, those are our markets here today. Tomorrow, keep in mind, jobless claims, 7:30 a.m. Central Time. We've got a bunch of auctions. The one that I'm going to be paying attention to is at noon, 12 p.m. Central Time. You got the 30-year bond auction. So pay attention to that. And if you're a natural gas trader, nice move down to the 20-day moving average today. EIA gas report, natural gas report, tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Other than that, that's what I got. There isn't really anything worthwhile on this date in history, so 2 days in a row. We'll wait and see. Maybe tomorrow will bring us something a little bit more fun. Other than that, guys, I'm going to sign on out of here. I hope you all have a spectacular day. Make sure you guys go check out Market Therapy going on here shortly with John Hoagland and Dr. Menaker. And John will be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Time with the market forecast. So until then, stay safe, wash your hands, trade smart, and trade well. I look forward to seeing you guys in the markets. Take care, everybody.